Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. Today, we're diving deep into one of Stephen King's most enigmatic, terrifying, and cosmically important villains, the Crimson King. If you thought Pennywise was Stephen King's ultimate evil, think again. Pennywise may haunt a single town and prey on children, but the Crimson King is something far vaster. An architect of universal ruin, a being whose goals make even eldritch horrors look like playground bullies. He's not just a villain, he's the villain, an entity whose shadow stretches across novels, worlds, timelines, and realities. To understand the Crimson King is to understand the very structure of Stephen King's multiverse. Every being, every world, every time loop, and every horror exists in relation to him. He seeks not merely destruction, but uncreation. So buckle up, because this is the definitive deep dive into the Crimson King, his ancestry, his rise to power, his cosmic role, and his ultimate fate. Who is the Crimson King? The Crimson King stands as the overarching antagonist of Insomnia, Black House, and the Dark Tower series. Even when he isn't physically present, he lurks in the background as an unseen puppeteer, tugging at strings, whispering into minds, and corrupting entire worlds. In the ecosystem of Stephen King's mythos, the Crimson King isn't just another demon or cosmic monster. He's a force trying to tear down existence itself. In the novels The Gunslinger, Wizard in Glass, and Song of Susanna, he lurks like a ghostly influence, hinted at but not fully seen. Only in the Dark Tower does he reveal himself openly. To many characters, he's the equivalent of a devil, a universe-destroying Satan whose crimson hue is not just a color, but a symbol of madness, decay, and absolute nihilism. His ultimate desire? Destroy the Dark Tower, the metaphysical pillar that holds all realities together. If the tower falls, every world, every timeline, every being gone. Only chaos remains, a state he calls discordia. Ancestry of evil. One of the most mind-bending aspects of the Crimson King is his origin. He shares blood with Roland Deschain, the protagonist of the Dark Tower series. Both are descendants of Arthur Eld, the legendary king whose bloodline runs through the worlds like a thread of destiny. This means that the greatest protector of the tower and its most dedicated destroyer are family. But the Crimson King's lineage goes further. Arthur Eld did not only lay with mortal women. One of his partners was from the Prim, the chaos that existed before creation. This unholy union gave birth to the king, neither fully human nor god, but a shape-shifting demonic entity. That's why the Crimson King is not bound by form. He is often described as spider-like, and his son, Mordred Deschain, inherits this terrifying arachnid essence. This heritage explains his powers. Even speaking can cause harm. It's noted in The Long Road Home that his mere voice can kill an infant. His existence is so saturated with cosmic force that his smallest actions ripple across dimensions. And here's the symbolic beauty. Roland and the Crimson King are two sides of one prophecy. Arthur Eld's blood producing both savior and destroyer. Fate is not a straight line in King's universe. It's a loop, and their shared ancestry anchors the loop's eternal conflict. The Crimson King's first shadow. He enters the Dark Tower comics during The Gunslinger Born, reacting in fury when Roland passes the test of manhood. This moment tells us something crucial. Roland's existence threatens the king. Roland's journey is not random. It's direct counterforce to the Crimson King's prophecy, and the king knows it. In The Long Road Home, Roland finally meets him. Here, the Crimson King reveals their shared lineage and tries to tempt Roland into joining his cause. He promises liberation for those trapped in creation's cages, but Roland refuses. It is perhaps the first of countless defiant choices that push the forces of Ka, the destiny of the tower, forward. This encounter exposes the king's philosophy. Where others see life, he sees imprisonment. To him, existence itself is a prison cell waiting to be shattered.
Influence without presence. Between the drawing of the three and wolves of the collar, his name nearly disappears, but that absence is intentional. The Crimson King isn't a battlefield tyrant. He's a chess master whose moves are invisible until whole kingdoms topple. Look at the world's decay, the tribal wars, the collapsing cities, the madness. These aren't random catastrophes. They're his fingerprints. Farson, the so-called good man, was merely a pawn. Even the monstrous machine Antak, or the big combination, was created to break minds and dismantle the vibrational stability of the multiverse. Every beam that supports the Dark Tower begins to weaken. Every breaker, telepaths forced into servitude, pushes reality closer to collapse. The Crimson King doesn't attack bodies first. He attacks meaning, purpose, and coherence. His war is metaphysical. The cosmos under siege. In Song of Susanna and the Dark Tower, the king's plans accelerate. At last, his intention is clear. Erase all structure, all laws, all order. Ted Brodigan theorizes that the Crimson King doesn't believe destruction will kill him. He imagines himself surviving in a remade universe where he is the only god. His son Mordred despises machines and marvels at the king's desire to tear reality apart. Even Mordred, a creature born from dark prophecy, recognizes the madness. That's how far removed the king is from sanity. When monsters fear your logic, you've crossed into cosmic insanity. When Roland destroys the breaker operations, the Crimson King loses his primary mechanism of war. But he doesn't stop. He burns his own realm, committing an act of cosmic self-harm, transforming himself into an undead creature whose sole purpose is to reach the tower, its obsession distilled into horror. At the base of the tower, waiting like a gargoyle of ruin, he faces Roland not with armies, but with immortal rage. Patrick Danville ultimately removes him not through violence, but through art, the power of creation defeating uncreation. The Unknown Fate. The Dark Tower series ends in a loop, which means the Crimson King's defeat is uncertain. He may be erased in one timeline, returned in another. Time in this universe isn't a line, it's a wheel. However, Gwendy's final task confirms something staggering. The Crimson King is dead. Whether this holds across all realities remains debatable, but for the first time since creation, the multiverse might be free of its greatest threat. Or is it? Where the tower stands, danger never truly dies. Beyond the tower, the king in other stories. His first real appearance wasn't in the Dark Tower, it was in Insomnia. Here, he is a shapeshifter of terrifying proportions, taking the form of Ralph Roberts' dead mother, then shifting into a red-skinned being flushed with blood, and finally into the monstrous essence of Ralph's nightmares. Some readers theorize the Crimson King is Pennywise, or that Pennywise is one of his spawn. The king himself hints at shapeshifting being a Derry tradition. Both share dead lights, the cosmic madness that strips sanity like skin. Are they the same creature? The text suggests proximity, but not identity. Pennywise is a predator. The Crimson King is a calamity. In Black House, he manifests again through child abductions. These abducted children become breakers, fueling the king's multiversal destruction efforts. Here, the scope widens. He's no longer a horror confined to mid-world, but a threat to Earth itself. The king's presence is always felt before he's seen. That's not just writing, it's world building. You don't meet the Crimson King, you arrive at him.
Inspiration behind the madness. Stephen King has openly stated that the Crimson King is his version of Sauron, the eye sigil, the tower's symbolism, the idea of a dark lord. These parallels are intentional. His other inspiration comes from the psychedelic song The Court of the Crimson King by King Crimson, which evokes apocalyptic imagery. Even his mythological roots tie back to Arthurian legend. Just as Mordred rebels against Arthur, the Crimson King corrupts Eld's legacy. King isn't just creating villains, he's weaving an archetype older than storytelling itself.
powers of a cosmic tyrant. The Crimson King wields reality-warping powers on a scale few beings can comprehend. He can change his form at will, manipulate minds with psionic force, and his very words are lethal. Speech itself becomes a weapon in his presence. He exists not as a mere monster, but as a cosmic entity on par with beings like it and Maturin, operating far beyond mortal comprehension. Yet above even him stands Gan, the godlike creator of the multiverse. If Gan builds reality, the Crimson King exists only to break it. His ambition isn't to rule creation, it's to erase it entirely. He doesn't crave worship or dominion. He wants existence itself to collapse into nothingness. Our nerdy thoughts. The Crimson King is more than a villain. He is the narrative embodiment of entropy, madness, and annihilation. Pennywise may terrorize a town, but the Crimson King terrifies existence itself. His shadow touches every world, every character, every fear. Roland's quest to the tower isn't just a journey, it's a resistance against cosmic despair. And whether the Crimson King is dead or simply waiting beyond the wheel, one truth remains. As long as the tower stands, something will always try to break it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Stephen King's most terrifying creation, stay tuned. There's more cosmic horror and multiverse madness coming. Until then, this is Spoiler Master signing off. Ka always finds a way.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.